Okay, this is my first review here for quite some time now. As you can hopefully see, camera quality's improved quite a bit. I recently picked up a Samsung Galaxy S4, which at the time of recording came out about 3 weeks ago in the UK. Probably the newest anything I've ever bought, to be honest. As you can see, I'm going to be reviewing I was going to say lower grade airsoft gun, not really, because these are actually really good. Say CYMA or CYMA, whatever you want to call it. CM048s, which to anyone that knows their AKs is an AKM, not an AK-47, AK modern or modernized or whatever. So if we have a look inside here, this is actually the first CYMA gun I've bought. Comes in quite securely packaged with these. Very, very tough polystyrene. It's not the usual foamy stuff that'll break. It's almost like a resin. It's very tough. Get your instruction manual for the guns, the specific gun, and then a more general one for all of the AK series, like their 74 and 74. AKS74U, they missed out the S there. There's no such gun as a 74U, whatever Call of Duty thinks. Right, so you kind of get the things you expect. I'm missing the charger of this one because I did buy it second hand, but you can see it comes with this 8.4 volt battery, stick type. They're okay, you know, use it if you haven't got any others, but I went and bought a Vapex battery because they only cost £14 or something, so there's not really much point in keeping those lower grade ones. You get a metal. It kind of felt like plastic because the metal's so thin, but HD quality. Yeah, kind of. So you get your 600 round high cap magazine. I'm not a fan of these old style sort of ribbed stamped AK mags. I prefer the plastic ones, but that's what you get with it. You'll also get your cleaning rod under here. Oh, that's where the battery's meant to go. Don't notice that. Oh well. Anyway, get the box out of the way because that's not important. What is important is your wood and steel AKM. It will come with the stock folded, and probably the first thing you'll notice is it's a bit wobbly. That is something that you cannot avoid with these kind of underfolder stocks. It's just something you've got to live with. You can tighten them up a bit by turning that, but you have to expect a bit of wobble with these. If you don't want that, get the solid stock version. Anyway, to undo it, there's a large button here. It's very much like the MP40, very kind of, you know, 1940 style. Swing it under and it'll click into place, and you force that bit down and you're ready to use your AK. Although of course, if you wanted, you could use it with the stock folded. There's quite a lot to go over on these. I mean, if you know your AKs, it's going to bore you a bit, but if you don't, I think I'll start from the back first. Okay, the stock is steel, which is nice. The old TM AK-47s have kind of, not pot metal, but you know, kind of a bendy metal that really don't feel very solid. I'd worry about breaking it. This does have about an inch of up and down movement, but side to side, none. Very solid, really. For its design, it's not bad, and you can get quite a good sort of shoulder weld, cheek weld. Well, not cheek weld, because it's a bit of wire, but you know what I mean. Process to fold it is the same as unfolding. Just press that button in there, bring it round. You have to fold that back out and slap it in, but I won't do that now. Okay, so obviously I'm going a bit fast here, but that is the stock covered. On the base of the stock here, you've got what I think is the perfect sling point. It's solid, it's the right way you want it for a 1-point sling, just around the back, around your shoulder, hook it on right there. And I think that's perfect, really. I don't like ones that attach back here and up here. I just want it one sling point there. Top cover is steel. It's a solid piece of stamped steel, which is nice. Like normal, you remove it with that button. As you can see, I've kind of weathered mine a little bit. I never like new looking AKs. Show you how to take it off. If you push that button in, it's a bit, oh, there you go. It's a bit hard, but you've got your AKM ribbed, see, stamped upper receiver there. I can take that off for now and show you. We've got the steel, I believe, safety lever. In the traditional, come on, focus. Thank you. Probably getting a little bit dark for this actually. You know what, I'm going to go switch a light on and I'll be back to carry on recording. Okay, that's a little bit better. Anyway, you've got your charging handle here, which was a bit stiff when I first got mine. Actually, I kind of modified this a little bit because it wasn't strong enough to really push it back. But you've got that there. I might do a disassembly video though, there are already some good ones available. Alright, so here you've got your safe, top position, middle full auto, and semi-automatic at the bottom there. Pretty much everything you can see here is steel. Yeah, lots and lots of steel on it. You've got your little fuse in there. Right now I've got a 9.6 volt Vapex stick battery, and good thing about this design is it can go from there all the way to the gas tube. So you could technically get like 12 volt battery in there or something. You wouldn't want to, but you could probably fit 2 of these in. There's a lot of space. So that covers a lot of that. As you can see, it's one of the small, it's got the little dimple there showing that it's an AKM, not an AK-47. You've got your standard AK style hop unit, which you can find behind here. It's just this little lever right here to adjust, well, you should already know what hop up is if you're looking this up. If you don't, just, you know, send me a message or whatever, I'll share that with you, although you could probably find that information anywhere. All of the pins, they kind of look like rivets or something, they're all steel, everything, metal hop-up chamber, good quality trigger, can't see it breaking. Pistol grip is not wood as you see on some AKs, as it should be on an AKM, it is plastic. It's a little bit creaky. What I did is I took it off, which is very easy with that single screw. I stuffed a load of paper and tape kind of around the motor cage, and it's a bit better now. So out of the box you'll notice that's a bit creaky, which isn't great for sort of feeling solid. The magazine that comes with it is your standard AK type. This will take any 74, 47, 7.62, 5.45, any kind of AK mag. It's the usual rock-in design, so you put the front in, pull it back. The one it comes with has got a bit of movement, which isn't great feeling. Nor do I actually like the look of it too much. If I stick the top cover back on, you can sort of get a look what the gun looks like. To get the top cover on, you just align it there, get it back here, whack it on. Right, sorry, there you go. That's kind of the look of the gun with the magazine it comes with. I like it, but I'm not a fan of these magazines, which is why I got one of these AK-74 style 5.45 sort of Bakelite kind of style mags. They did actually used to make these for 7.62 AK, so it's not totally unrealistic using these in here. I think you can even use 7.62s in these, and I think that just gives it a really cool sort of 50s Soviet look. Something like the mix of colours. I think that looks really good. But that's just me. You might want to stick to your black steel AK mags or whatever. But I think that looks good, so I'm going to be keeping that in for the review. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wear on the receiver. It's a very tough finish, and that was actually me with wire wool. I just don't like the look of brand new AKs. It doesn't look right. So first thing I did, got wire wool, went all over it. You know, just brought out some marks on it, which always I think looks way better. Anyway, that's most of it covered. As I said, any AK mag will fit. Most brands will fit this, TM compatible, of course. This is all steel. You're looking at pretty much a lump of steel here, only exception being the pistol grip and the magazine. There are some parts that aren't steel though, such as this gas block kind of part and rear sight mount. You can see it's kind of, if I try and get a light on it, it is textured differently. It's kind of got this pitted kind of finish, and that's how you can sort of tell on these guns where the steel is not. That was a really bad sentence, but you know what I mean. That's where you're not going to find steel. Rear sight might be steel, I'm not sure. I did have a few problems with this. There's a huge sort of leaf spring in here that puts tension on the rear sight. I sort of adjusted it so much, the leaf spring sort of burst through this pot metal. It's not a good quality metal used for this part. So what I did is I attached it, jammed some sort of another leaf spring in there, there's sort of like a pulley system of springs in there that I just jammed in, which keeps a bit of tension on this. But I would say don't fiddle with the sights too much. Don't lever it up, because you will snap this pot metal inside, and it will be a pain to repair. A nice thing about these CYMA AKs is that they're really easy to disassemble, unlike the original TM design. These are based on VFC guns, which means you just need to push that pin out there, do like 2 screws, and you can knock the barrel out. It's very easy. There is a disassembly video, I might be able to put a link to it, but there's some guy, I think he was American, did a good disassembly video. Anyway, AK style rear sight, as you'd expect. You're not going to need to adjust it because this is not real life. You're going to want to keep it, you know, at the under 100 meters, like the 0 setting, because you're not going to be shooting anybody at 1 kilometer away. So just keep that at the lowest setting. That's where you want that. To adjust it, you just squeeze those if you want to do it for show, but you really shouldn't need to touch that. I wouldn't touch that too much. Here, if you swing that up, is how you take the handguard off. I can't do it right now because I've got a battery sitting in there, but that's a nice disassembly feature. Moving on, we've got the real wood handguard, which is always a nice touch. It's not imitation wood, it's not expensive wood, certainly not expensive wood. As you can see, it's just sort of ply. You know, it's not like MDF or something, but it's just cheap plywood. There's some marks in it, which I like actually. Makes it look more realistic. You know, I don't think AKs should be highly polished, finished weapons. It looks like it's just come off the assembly line and sent to Vietnam or something. I was tempted to get a soldering iron on it and make some sort of scars, just make it look a bit more used. And yeah, I think that's how an AK should look, which is, hopefully, as you can see, it kind of looks a bit better when it's a bit used. And it's nice to have a gun, unlike, you know, my like TM recoil guns that you can throw around and not worry about. Get a good idea of the sight picture here. What I'll do, I'll just fold the stock here, fold it under, just chop my finger off in the process. And you can see what the sights look like. They're very basic, they're quite hard to sort of acquire. If you're actually airsofting, you probably wouldn't be using this a whole lot. You can sort of see how the adjustment system works. Putting that up means the barrel is at a higher angle and you'll be lobbing your shots over, but again, for airsoft you're not going to be using that. So yeah, sights aren't great, but you know, there's a lot that isn't outstanding about AKs. It's just the fact that they're very solid and they feel like they'll always work. Sights aren't really your biggest priority, nor would I bother, you know, putting rails on it, trying to stick a sight on. Just use it for what it is, chuck it around. That's the nice thing about owning such a solid steel gun. Right, so that's also pot metal, the sort of like gas block piston end cap there. I think that's steel. As I said, the battery can run all the way up to here, which is a nice feature. You've got the barrel, which is kind of very slightly ribbed. You know, it's a bit textured. Come on, focus. As you can see, you've got the cleaning rod here. Obviously it doesn't do anything. You can just pull it out, and it is full length actually. So you can see that would go all the way back to the chamber. But this is airsoft, you don't need a cleaning rod. That is just for look, so we stick it back in there. Front sight looks to be steel, hopefully, so it doesn't break off, but only time will tell. It is adjustable with a little tool that is included, although as I bought this second hand it did not come with that, unfortunately. On the front you've got a steel sort of slanted flash hider. Kind of looks broken, but this is what AKM flash hiders look like. It's kind of at an angle as well. Not sure what the meaning behind that was. I don't know if the gases expand that way, you know, kind of push it that way. Maybe they were hoping that everybody shooting it is going to be, you know, right-handed, and their supporting hand kind of negates that. I don't know what the design element of that was, but anyway, there's not a whole lot to say about this. As for performance, hop-up seems pretty strong. For 0.2s, you really need it on the lowest setting. It could easily lift up to 0.4s or something crazy. And for the UK, this does shoot too hot. This one second hand came to me shooting about 450 FPS, which is way too hot for any skirmish sites in the UK. This would be probably good for you guys in the US who would value a metal, wood, cheap, high FPS gun. But for the UK, I do need to downgrade this, so I'll be popping the gearbox out and trying that later, which is never something I can do successfully. It shoots pretty nicely. If I put it on semi, not bad trigger response. It's certainly got a higher rate of fire than the real gun. If I switch it over here, Actually, it's probably about similar, you know, 600 rounds per minute or something. And remember, that's on a 9.6. If you use the standard 8.4, you might be a bit disappointed with how slow it is. But for me, it's alright. And again, it kind of adds to the feeling of an AK. You don't expect to pick up an old, battered gun and it be blasting 1,000 rounds a minute or something. It does add to the experience where you're shooting at a sort of a slower, more intimidating rate of fire. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. I tried to keep this review quick, but as you can see, it's gone on for about 15 minutes now. So that is a review of the CYMA CM048s. I've got a few more reviews coming up. A couple of handguns, G36K recoil, and as you can see, picture quality has improved. So obviously subscribe if you'd like to see some more of these reviews. Thank you for watching.